Well, let's head to Dallas. Coordinators Kellen Moore, defensive coordinator Dan Quinn, both coming back to the Cowboys after being mentioned for several head coaching jobs. Now, head coach Mike McCarthy is back as well, and Cowboys legend Jimmy Johnson said on The Herd yesterday that Jerry Jones, quote, doesn't ever want to admit that he's wrong, so he's going to hang with whoever, close quote. Cowboys making a mistake running it back with their coaching staff.
Not at all. I think this is a blessing. Like, just look at the staff and what they were able to accomplish and some of the stats and the rankings. Jerry didn't really want them to leave, and they stayed. How is this a bad situation? Now, that's not to say that those two coordinators, Kellen Moore and obviously Dan Quinn, didn't want to leave. They went out there and they took interviews, they took opportunities, but it didn't work out. And sometimes in life, a no is the best yes you'll get, right? How many times you wanted to do something, go somewhere, be there, and then all of a sudden you're like, this happened to me a lot growing up. Nah, mama's like, nah, can't do it. Then you hear the next day at school what happened at that same place. That no became the best yes you ever heard. So somebody in this organization needs to make sense of the fact that, hey, we came short of the goal. But guess what? 31 teams will come short of the same goal. But what do we have here in Dallas? What are we cooking up? What are we brewing? To me, those are all positives. You got the number one offense. You got to revamp defense with young stars on it. Why won't you run it back? So I look at this situation as a blessing. Even though those guys went out there and tried to see other situations, see if they're better, they all stayed. It's a positive.
Cowboys making a huge mistake, and I look at it like this, They're very, very, very simple. The Cowboys have the right cards in their hand, but they're not playing them the right way. You brought up blackjack earlier. If y'all do not know, in the game of blackjack, an ace can be worth 1 or 11. An ace has the value of 1 or 11, dependent upon what makes the better hand for you. So if you are sitting with a 9 and an ace, you have a value of 20. Highest in blackjack is 21. So you good. Just sit there, stay, let the dealer lose to you, keep it pushing. But though you have the right cards in your hand, you can play that wrong. You can choose for that ace to be valued at 1 and ask the dealer for an additional card and somehow wind up losing that hand. Have the right hand, but play it incorrectly. Cowboys have the right hand. Kellen Moore, right guy. Dan Quinn, right guy. But they're playing it incorrectly. Make Dan Quinn the head coach. And keep Kellen Moore as the offensive coordinator. Make Kellen Moore the head coach and the offensive play caller. Keep Dan Quinn on staff as the defensive coordinator. You got the right guys. You have the right hand, but you're playing the hand incorrectly. Remember when the Rams had Sean McVay as the offensive mind, but Wade Phillips, the former head coach, as a defensive mind. Remember when you see it over the course of time, over the course of history, when you got the right guys in the building, but you just have the wrong organizational structure. I would get Mike McCarthy out the way. Keep the hand in what you have. Trim the fat. You know how they do when you go to a steakhouse.
What do they do?
Trim the fat off the steak. You can trim Mike McCarthy off the roster. Yeah. Just keep the real quantity and quality of what you need. Kellen Moore, Dan Quinn, and move forward. Right guys played it wrong.
Man. I don't see a lot that supports that other than just what you want, just what you desire. I mean, I don't see. Dan Quinn, 43 and 42 as a head coach. I looked it up just now. All right. Kellen Moore, I looked it up, and then they wouldn't show me any coaching record. I was like, dog, Kellen Moore, he's like the coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys. He's been a head coach before, right? Nope. Kept kicking me out. Then I looked up Mike McCarthy, and it said Super Bowl champion head coach. Ooh, but we're going to replace that guy, the guy who's been to the promised land, for the guy who's never been a head coach, or the guy who was a head coach, and boy, was he treading water out there barely above 500. Can't do it, bruh. Can't do it, especially when I'm looking at the number one offense, and I'm looking at 7th in scoring defense. Y'all look like y'all great at what you do right now. Why do you need a promotion? They want a promotion elsewhere. Jerry Jones didn't fire Mike McCarthy for good reason. I think this is a situation where, tell me which one of these, Kellen Moore or Dan Quinn, had to send this text. Hey, big head, because, the hey, big head means, I messed up a little bit, trying to flirt with other teams, trying to go to, hey, big head, how you doing, Jerry? They got it good right now. Mike McCarthy is sitting there as more of the governor, CEO of this team, making sure that, hey, it's Dallas. Things can get out of control real fast. And whatever you think of him, you got to give him the respect that he's been able to keep this team well contained in terms of his focus. Now, are they maximizing their potential? No. But 31 teams don't maximize their potential in their minds because they fall short of the goal. But this team is built for success, and I think it's coming real fast.
Here's my problem. The Dallas Cowboys played the San Francisco 49ers in the playoffs this year. The Dallas Cowboys have a better quarterback than the 49ers quarterback.
Yeah.
The Dallas Cowboys have a better team than the 49ers team. The Dallas Cowboys had a healthier roster than the 49ers within the course of that game. Yet the Dallas Cowboys lost that game. So the Dallas Cowboys had better players and performers on the field than the 49ers, but on the scoreboard, they still found a way to lose. That means that the 49ers must have had a superior off-the-field talent because on the field, the talent of the 49ers was not superior. That means the 49ers had a better coach than the Dallas Cowboys coach. So something has to change because, Mike McCarthy, your players were better than their players, but you lost a game. Your players were healthier than their players, but you lost a game. That means that something off the field was greater than that which was on the field, and you are what is off the field. My biggest issue is this, and I love this quote.
Let's go.
A wise man learns from the mistakes of others. A fool learns from his own mistakes. Better said, a fool learns from his own mistakes. A wise man learns from the mistakes of others. The Dallas Cowboys' current coaching staff will have 2 head coaches in the National Football League in 2023, and none of them will be Mike McCarthy. And that is the problem. Remember the Washington football team, 2013, when Matt LaFleur was on the roster and Sean McVay was there and Kyle Shanahan was there and, even Mike McDaniel was there as well. But all that talent on that staff selling, they ended up with Jay Gruden. You had Sean McVay, Matt LaFleur, Kyle Shanahan, and Mike McDaniel, and you ended up with Jay Gruden? That's the mistake the Cowboys are going to look back and make. They're going to look back and say, we got Kellen Moore, we got Dan Quinn, and we kept Mike McCarthy? That's why I'm like, nah, bad decision. Go ahead and let Mike McCarthy go. They should have. Clearly, they will not now, but it will come back to bite the Cowboys.
Man, that's really, really saddening to know that you look at the Dallas Cowboys as the better team, but they lost to the inferior team, you say, the San Francisco 49ers, and it's all on the coach. That's kind of sad to say because if I start to use that mindset model around the league, I start to look at, let's start here, Kansas City Chiefs. Got a better team than the Cincinnati Bengals. Andy Reid, time's up, big dog. Are we going to go there with Andy Reid? We're not going to go there with Andy Reid. Why? Because Andy Reid won a Super Bowl. Mike McCarthy won a Super Bowl. But no. Andy Reid lost to an inferior team. Mike McCarthy lost to an inferior team. But we're not getting rid of Andy Reid, but we're going to get rid of Mike McCarthy. Why? I don't know. Because there are situations where sometimes the guys just don't perform up to standard. Patrick Mahomes is better than Joe Burrow. Patrick Mahomes is at home. Joe Burrow advanced. It's not on the coach. You just look at the situation and you say, you know what? Next time, next go around, let's advance this ball forward. Let's make sure our team is doing better. So this whole indictment of Mike McCarthy or his lack of likability, I don't know what it is, but it's just a different set of rules when it comes to Mike McCarthy that I know we wouldn't want to apply to other coaches, certainly coaches that we like, certainly not Andy Reid.